Well, what is up, everybody? Welcome into the Hump Day Hotline. This is
Mike.
it's Hump Day. Hump Day. I don't even know what that means, but it's Hump Day. It's Wednesday, right? And I'm actually taking
It's
tomorrow.
here.
I'm taking tomorrow off, and Friday's my normal day off. So this is actually my Friday for me. So
Look at you.
look at me, right? But so everybody, for those of you that don't know me, this is that moment where you're like, wait, that's what that dude looks like? Like he looks like that? Like the voice that I've been hearing, like looks like that guy. So I am Joe Miller, and you can find me on Twitter at Joe Miller Wired. That is my dude. Where's he at? Over there. Jay
That
Spence.
way, right?
Go for it,
Because then
Jay
you're
Spence.
that way.
Go
I'm
for
literally
it.
pointing opposite.
Go for it, Jay Spence.
What's up, guys? How's it going, man? I'm happy to be here. I've this morning the podcast drop, Code of Conduct. So I'm double dipping today. I'm having fun, man. I'm all over the place.
Yes, it did, and we're both geared up in our Buffalo Fanatics gear. Which, by the way, if you have, I'm gonna plug it early. So if you have not as of yet gone to Buffalo Fanatics and BF Fan Shop is where it is. Look at this. There it is. Look at me navigating
Boom.
the show already.
Boom.
So bffanshop.com. That says Bills guys. Don't put in Bills guys. Put in overreact.
Yeah.
Put in overreact. The Bills guys.
No, put in Code of Conduct. I don't even know if I have a code yet, but put in Code of Conduct.
Dude, all I'm telling you is the Bills guys code sucks. You don't want the Bills guys code. You want the overreact code. So do not put in the Bills guys code. If you put in the Bills guys code, I'm gonna hurt somebody seriously. But here we are. We're back. So welcome in to the debut episode of the Hump Day Hotline, and this is an opportunity for you guys, all of you out in Twitterverse and YouTube land and Facebook land, to basically interact with Jay Spence and myself. We're excited that you're with us. We're excited that you guys are here. We already have a super chat. How in the world do we already have a super chat? Like, what in the world? If I make hang on a second, I'm gonna show this thing. What's this thing say? If I make a petition to read that for me, Spence.
I can't promise that Buffalo Fanatics will promote it. What they're saying is if we make a petition to fix Trey White's Madden rating, will Buffalo Fanatics promote it on our page? I can't promise Buffalo Fanatics will promote it, but I guarantee I will retweet the heck out of that. I promise.
So the ref jumping in early. So the ref is our very first super chat. So those of you that don't know the program, as far as how this whole thing works, we are on live Facebook, we are on live Sportscaster, we are live on Twitter's Periscope, and we're live on YouTube. You can connect to us and comment with us as far as respond to us, ask us questions on all of those platforms. However, super chats on YouTube get priority. So if you super chat, you're going to get priority, which is what's going on with the ref. So ironically enough, we don't even have to transition because that's where we're about to go here in a second. But we need to do a little bit of homework. We did the bffanshop.com. You're going to put in some sort of a code, whether it's, I don't know. Do you have a code? Do we talk about?
I don't have one yet. We'll get one. Trust me. I'll have one by next week.
Are we gonna get a hump day? What if our code for hump day was just, I don't want to go there. What?
Yeah, we
So overreact. Do not type in Bills guys, but this is what we're going to do. So we're going to talk about some things tonight. And then you're gonna hear Spence and I banter back and forth. We're gonna just highlight some stuff, and then as you guys have questions to ask, we want you to ask questions. And basically, for the next hour, maybe a little bit more, we want to effectively just talk with you guys and answer your questions. But where we want to start, the ref was very intuitive, and I know that I put in there that Trey White wants to win a Super Bowl in Buffalo, and this is what happened. And what's funny about the whole thing is there has been some dialogue inside of the BF staff chat, if you will, about Trey White, whether or not he wants to remain in Buffalo. There's contingencies on both sides. People that believe that Buffalo Fanatics is actually messaging 10% off if you use the promo code Hump Day. Rock.
Hey, Fanatics, that's cool because it's the Hump Day Hotline, but I need y'all to get a Code of Conduct one for me. Please make that happen.
I'm actually gonna pop that. Look at that. There it is, right there.
Boom.
So put that in there, and then you'll be good to go. So I'm gonna show this once more. But there's a contingency on both sides of the fence, as we have kind of dialogued and discussed, even as a staff, as to whether or not Trey White is going to resign. Spence and I are of the opinion that Trey is never going to be cheaper than he is today. Tomorrow, he's more expensive. The next day, he's more expensive. We get him into this year, and if Trey does Trey things, way more expensive. And if he gets into the year after that, you can pretty much forget it. The dude's going to ball out, and he's going to get paid. And as Greg Thompson said, Pagula bucks. He's going to get all the Pagula bucks. There are some people that feel that Trey doesn't want to be in Buffalo, that he basically is of the same opinion that I would say Stephon Gilmore was, that Stephon Gilmore couldn't get out of Buffalo fast enough. For me, to be honest with you, I'm of the opinion that Trey does want to be here. I'm going to let you talk real quick, and then we're going to queue up, or I'm going to read just some of these tweets that we have. So what are your opinions as far as just Trey goes and his desire, in your opinion, to be here, Jay Spence?
Honestly, I think that I think Trey loves Buffalo. I think that a lot of times, obviously during the offseason, we're all bored, so we read into everything way too much. Like yesterday, somebody commented on, it was like an NFL post actually about Trey White mentioning the Super Bowl, and somebody's like, yeah, he deleted all the Bills posts off his Instagram. He does it every season. Every season, and he gives an explanation every season. Like, I do it because I feel like I need to motivate myself to the next level, but yet we still read. Yep, and we all read into it every year. The thing is, I see the camaraderie this team has. I see the way they love each other, how they all, they all rally behind Coach McDermott. I see how they all love Josh. I just honestly, I don't think there's a guy on this team right now that I see like they're ready to get out of Buffalo. I just don't see it.
Okay, I don't know if we need to back up here. So apparently, Jif Yin Yang, who I think is part of the Yin Yang podcast, maybe, is asking me who we are. We already did this. We already said who we are. So we're not.
You're late, man.
We're not going backwards, bro. So if you were late to the party, that's your own problem. But this is what happened. So Jerry Hughes, upon receiving the Madden basically statistics, or I guess ratings, and I'm not a Madden guy. Are you a Madden guy, Jay Spence?
I am.
So I played it when I was younger. I'm old now. I ain't got time for video games. But Jerry Hughes, he was basically pleading to Madden to be like, can you help us out? And what Jerry said was 83 overall defense, which, let's be honest, for a top 2-3 defense, that's a tragedy, whatever you want to say there. And he said, someone send these guys some wings and beer. We need some love up north. My man, Takeaway Trey, gave up 0 TDs last season. And this is the money post right here. Trey quoted that tweet this morning, or was it? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. It's all good, bro. Been overlooked my whole life. That's why my hustle is different. And then he says, hell, I don't even know how to play Madden. He's like me. Matter of fact, I don't even own the damn game. I'm not supposed to swear, but damn game system. And here it is. This is what we're here for right here. This is what we're here for. You know what would be sweet though? Raising a Lombardi trophy for, what's that last line? The 7
Buffalo for 716.
The 716.
Let's do it.
So I'm on John Banks' bandwagon. I think he stays. So what are your opinions there, Jay Spence? Talk to me. Is he staying? We gonna get this?
I think he's absolutely staying, especially if this season is special like we think it's going to be. The thing is, the team is so much better than they've been. The team is ready, like they're there. And if they're at all successful, if they make it past the first round, you can look at it as, they built on what last season was.
Right.
And you would hate. So when Stephon Gilmore was here, it was a completely different situation. We weren't winning. So,
he was part of the problem, in my opinion.
I disagree with you there, but we could
already.
But
if you want to see my Stephon Gilmore impression,
except he was Defensive Player of the Year last year. I'm just saying
that was last year, but in Buffalo he did a lot of this.
In Buffalo he was still very, very good. The problem was we didn't have the type of defense we have now. So like in New England, he has help. Trey White this year and last year with us has help, so it's different. And the thing about that is, with us having a better team, and every year we're getting better. It seems like we're meeting a new goal every single year. So when you're doing that, it would be, I think in my mind, pointless to leave a top team. Right. And I think that's how players see it. As fans, we're so used to now for almost 2 decades. We're so used to having mediocre or close to good, but not really good teams. And because of that, we're so used to being let down, and we're used to people leaving because they want to win. Right now, we're a winning team. So I just don't think really, I think the problem is that we need to break that habit of being heartbroken internally. Feel like we can't trust the team, but that's not true. We can absolutely trust this team.
And I think that, if I'm going to be honest, and I try to be as honest as I can, and yes, we razz and we go back and forth and it's fun. What Stephon Gilmore said was true. Nobody knows he exists. And Trey has suffered from that. Trey has suffered a little bit about not the Buffalo curse, but just being up here and being a part of Buffalo. But that's all about the change. I mean, with 4 legit primetime games, 5 if you count the Saturday, possibly Sunday game, where they're playing in the West Coast. So they're either going to have the 7:30 Saturday or they're going to have the 4:30 on Sunday. 5 legit primetime games. People are beginning to know who Trey White is. And, oh, by the way, this team is going to start winning soon, which is really, really good. This is what I want you. I'm gonna throw something up by Ryan Horton, and I want you to respond to this. Trey has nearly the same stats as Gilmore, and yet Gilmore is 10 overall higher than Trey. The Madden people be tripping. Break it down for me, Spence. Break it down for me. Did I lose you?
I'm here. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
I can't hear you.
On our first run. I think your batteries on those really expensive headphones might be dead. So this is what I would say.
I'm literally trying to read your lips.
we need a closed caption person here. That you might have to switch headphones. So for all intents and purposes, for me, I don't do the Madden rating thing, but literally it comes back to, for me, what I was just talking about, which is literally that it's about people being seen and people not being seen. So Buffalo is akin, in my opinion, to like the Milwaukee Brewers. So like when you think about Major League Baseball, there's a team you never think of. It's the Brewers, unless you're from Wisconsin. And my guess is that the majority of the people that are listening to me tonight are not from Wisconsin. So I would venture to guess that there isn't a person in this chat right now listening to me that can name one Milwaukee Brewers player. And that's effectively what happens to players in Buffalo. The cool thing is, and this is what Jay Spence was talking about a second ago, is
I'm back with you too.
Sweet dude. This is about to change. It's so the question was, why does Madden have Trey, who has nearly identical, in some areas better stats than Stephon Gilmore? Why does Madden have Gilmore rated higher, 10 points higher? So respond to that question for me.
Well, I mean, you said it, but the thing is, Buffalo's still not a sexy destination. It's not a sexy city to look at. Nobody wants to watch them, even though we're better now. We're getting better. Now we're going to have guys watching us this season because we have the 4, possibly 5 primetime games. Mm-hmm. But prior to, you see the stats and the Bills made the playoffs, but nobody actually, nobody watches it. You just watch ESPN and FS1 and the way they talk about the team and the gameplay, you can tell nobody actually watches us. And it's the same thing with Madden. So when, you look at these ratings, the only thing that's going to happen is week 1 after the first game, they're going to go and then Trey's numbers are going to go up and that, they're going to do the update like they always do. And then Trey's numbers will be better, but we're just not going to be respected until we earn it. That's so right. The thing is, as Bills fans, we have to get out of that. I don't even know if I want to call it like a victim mentality. Like we're always the one that, they aren't doing us right. We got to get out of that. We just got to stop being victims. And at this point, hey, if they don't believe in us and they don't give us the numbers that we deserve, so what? It's a video game. When you buy it, go ahead and just up the ratings for yourself.
At the end of the day, there's no hoisting the Madden Lombardi Trophy.
No,
the Lombardi Trophy. And this is the big baller. The boss is in with a super chat. Look at this guy. I'll always show my love to my guys. Great show, dude. We are like 10 minutes into this thing. I think it's a little early to say that it's a great show. Just because we come out hot. I mean, if you think about the Buffalo Bills, and we're all Bills fans here, like coming out hot is kind of what we do. It's all about finishing.
Yeah.
And we need to probably finish this thing before you say great. But I mean, I appreciate the love. And just to come back to what you're seeing on your screen right now, for those of us that are new, super chats get priority. So if you jump into YouTube and you super chat and you throw some money our way, you are going to get keyed up pretty much faster than anybody else. I'm looking for some questions here. And you don't have any control, do you?
No.
Spence. So you can't see anything.
Well, I can see the questions. I just can't scroll them.
John Banks bringing the heat. That's it right there. I don't play Madden. I know that.
Well, he's right. I mean, even when you and this is the honest to God truth, go in Madden, Bills fans, go in Madden and pull up the teams from like 92, 93, 94, 90.
Right.
Pull up those teams and see what the ratings are, even though those were the 4 Super Bowl teams.
Right.
So
right.
And then come back.
Madden NFL is not Tecmo. It is not Tecmo Bowl, where the Bills were like unbelievable. I remember that. I played Tecmo when I was a kid. See, I'm showing my age now. Rodney Morrison, check this out. This is what I'm talking about. Talk about this for me, Spence. You're frozen. Did I lose you? Oh, I'm flying solo tonight. I don't know what's going. I might just kick him out of this thing. The Hump Day hotline might just become overreaction part 2. So, but I will be honest with you, as far as Trey goes, I am of the probably utmost opinion, if you will, that Trey is going to stay. Trey's not going anywhere. I think that he loves Buffalo. If you have listened to any of the Code of Conduct podcast with Jay Spence, and basically what's going on there, Jay Spence has some of the best. Man, I don't know how he is getting some of the interviews that he's getting, but he's got some coming up that are fire. And if you stick around long enough to basically tune into his broadcasts, you're going to hear some stuff from Jay Spence that basically is going to begin to tune in for you what's going on at One Bills Drive. These players listen to me, these players love Sean McDermott. And I'm not just making that up because Sean McDermott is the head coach of my favorite football team. And yes, we love all of the trust the process stuff, and we love. Oh, Spence is back. Got to get him in here. Hang on a second. Where'd you go, Spence? You left me.
I thought you froze, and then I'm like, oh, it's me.
It was you, brother.
Yeah, it was me.
But I was just telling them, and I didn't give it away, just so you know. I didn't give it away. I just said that you've got some interviews coming up. And I am of the opinion that Trey is going to re-sign here. And it's because, and again, I didn't give it away, so don't get nervous. It's because these players love Sean McDermott. Love. And I don't want you to give it away either, but speak to just the love that some of these players have. And as much as somebody posted a question a second ago about Trey taking a hometown discount, you guys might as well get that stuff out of your mind. These guys are not taking.
No, it's money.
These guys are wanting to they want to set up their great grandkids. These guys are not taking hometown discounts, but they do want to be in Buffalo. And from what the interviews you've conducted that we haven't heard yet, speak to that real quick for me. Uh-oh, is he frozen again? You there? Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. John Banks is lighting us up. Just showed us the way. Yes.
Is this me again?
It is you again, brother. I don't know what's going on with your internet. Jay Spence is frozen. Poor Spence. The voice is holding it down. Dave Tilton bringing the heat. I'm going to have to plug your show there, brother. So, uh-oh.
Well, I told you I'm moving. I'm sorry, guys, everybody. I'm moving. So a lot of my stuff is jacked up, and I already turned off my internet. So I'm actually trying to stream it from a device that isn't high speed. So that is my problem. I apologize, everyone.
Look at this. This is awesome. This is money right here. Rodney Morrison bringing the smoke. These super fans don't even know what Tecmo Bowl is. It's so true, dude. It's so absolutely true.
That was actually the best football game, in my opinion. Like, period.
I would agree with that. But I think Trey's staying. So why don't we go on to what's next? Do you want to talk about your poll this week?
Before we move on, really quickly, before we move off the Trey topic, because I did want to talk about you were on the Code of Conduct a couple weeks ago now, and we actually talked about Trey's chances for Defensive Player of the Year. And I think that even though we're talking about Madden ratings right now and all that stuff, I think it's important to also still keep in mind that the thing that actually is important for him in these contract negotiations and all that stuff is his he was a all-pro player last year. He very easily could have been the Defensive Player of the Year, and same thing for this year. So the thing is, when we're talking about hometown discounts, you're literally talking about asking one of the top 2 players on the defensive side of the football to take less. That's just not I don't care who it is. As much as we love him, and I know he loves Buffalo. He loves Buffalo. I know a lot of you are still questioning that. He's not questioning it. He loves Buffalo. So, but he still needs those coins. He needs his entire bag. So he needs all of it.
For sure. So what do we want to move on to next? Where do you want to go? You want to go with the poll that you posted up?
Yeah, we can go to the poll. So the question is actually, I know.
Hang on. Don't jump in front of me.
What?
So I just want to reiterate to everybody that's listening to your show and hasn't necessarily listened to my show yet. You are the king of coming up with these questions that I like to say that are impossible to answer as Bills fans. But this was a pointed. I thought this was a really good one. But generally, you float this stuff out there, you pull it out of the air, and then you float these questions out there. And Bills Mafia, we're just like, I'm not sure how to vote on this one.
Yeah.
But this was a good one. So I'll give you that. So let me find it. Where's it at?
Well, before you read it, let me tell you how it came, because honestly, I didn't come up with the question. So there was somebody who commented on another post that I put up, and we were talking just in general, talking about EJ Manuel, and we were talking about because I feel like he had an unfair opportunity. I just don't think he got a fair shake with Doug Marrone and the staff that we had at that time. So,
sure.
Long story short, are you ready for me to tell the question now? The poll?
Yeah, no, it's rolling at the bottom. Go for it. Yep.
Okay, so now they're pretty much, he asked me like, well, I think we should have. He didn't ask me. He told me. He said, I think we should have kept Fitz for another couple years. I think we got rid of him too quick. So I'm like, really? I don't think that, and I'm like, I love Fitz. Everybody I know loves Fitz. I don't know one person in Buffalo who doesn't necessarily like Fitz as a person and even as a character, as a personality. But when at that time, we had just recently given him a contract extension that for that time and for what he's done, it was a great amount of money. Oh, yeah. And he ended up not performing.
65 was like 65 million. Yeah,
it was legit. He had a good contract, and for that time, because now Patrick Mahomes' contract just laughs at it. But Fitz, he just underperformed after he signed the contract. Buddy Nix wanted him to take a pay cut. He wouldn't do it, and because of that, they let him go.
Sure.
I personally, I'm still of the mindset that I think EJ Manuel at FSU was a good quarterback. He wasn't great. He shouldn't have been a first-round draft pick, in my opinion. But I still think if he had a coaching staff and a front office who really believed in him and actually invested time to develop him, I think he would have actually been a completely different quarterback. And actually, John just mentioned about the Fitz contract. He was 5-1 prior to.
Yeah.
And then afterward, we ended the season 6-10. So it's just not a way that you don't perform that way and expect to still make the rest of that money after getting that extension.
That may just go back to what I was saying about Pierre. Yeah, we came out hot, but let's get to the end. Let's get to the last half hour before we decide that this is a great show.
Let's wait on that one.
The jury may still be out. So you and I talked about this, and I'm looking at the tweet now, and the question was, do you think we should have kept Ryan Fitzpatrick longer? And this is the question for the people listening. So if you're listening, I'll do my best to get your questions on, or to get your responses, or if you have a question to piggyback on this. Do you think we should have kept Ryan Fitzpatrick longer? Did we give up on him too quickly, or did Buddy Nix do the right thing by looking to draft EJ Manuel? There were 427 votes, and it's the voter counts that you get, Spence, like I'm jealous because I put like polls out there and like 12 people vote on my stuff. I'm not asking the right questions. One thing is for sure, I'm not asking the right questions, but it was 55.5% said he deserved another shot. And I think that speaks to what you said, that people loved Fitz. Now, EJ, in my opinion, I loved Fitz and I loved EJ. But as you and I were breaking this down, I think that gets to the point where you just know what you know about a player, and that know what you know is the ceiling, the word ceiling. So players have floors, players have ceilings. And in my opinion, as you and I were talking about this even earlier in the week, and you and I talk a lot, just so everybody knows, Jay Spence and I are super, super good friends. We're really close, and we like bounce stuff off each other all the time. But we knew at that point in time, in my opinion, easily what Fitz's ceiling was. We knew exactly who Ryan Fitzpatrick was. And the hard part about it was, and this is going to sound mean, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but the hard part about it was he was the guy that if we were trying to make a comeback, if we were down by 2, down by 3, down by 5, he's going to throw an interception. And it's Fitz tragic, right? So we knew what his ceiling was. So in my opinion, I thought they did. They did the right thing. Whether or not it was EJ Manuel, and speak to me real quick, nobody came out of that draft, right? There was no quarterbacks in that draft.
No, that year actually was not good for quarterbacks. I remember we were looking at Geno Smith that offseason too. So that was that year,
I'll be honest with you. Thank God. It could have been worse, Bill's mom.
Yeah, no,
it could have got Geno. We could have got Geno Smith.
But here's the thing. I know, like, because I'm still looking at comments as we're talking, but there's even in here I'm seeing some hate for EJ, not necessarily like straight up, oh, EJ sucks, right. But the way people describe EJ, to me, it's a lot of hate in there. Somebody just said that his class is Dwayne Haskins. That is so disrespectful to EJ Manuel. I'm gonna just tell you, before EJ got injured in his rookie season, EJ was starting off out the gate as a pretty effective quarterback, and I know a lot of people don't remember that time because they just remember how it ended. But EJ was pretty good before that injury, and his confidence. He actually is on the record of saying that his confidence completely diminished after he got injured, and when he got back from the injury, Doug Marrone didn't believe in him, and he put him very quickly from the starting role. Sure. So when your confidence is shot as a young quarterback in the NFL, granted, not everybody does that. Some people get benched and then they come back and they become a great player, but it didn't happen that way for EJ. And so what now, can we blame him for being sensitive? Whatever. That's a different debate. But the thing is, he was a good quarterback. And if he had somebody to believe in him and help build that confidence, I think EJ, I'm not saying he would have been Josh. I love Josh. I think, but
the hard part is when you use words like good. I mean, there was time. So like I went to the Browns-Bills game on, was it Thursday night or Monday night? It was Thursday Night Football, right? In Cleveland. And it was funny because both Brian Hoyer and EJ got hurt that game. And one of my best friends is a Browns fan. And his comments to me about EJ was EJ looks like a franchise quarterback. And there were flashes. There were moments that EJ did look like a franchise quarterback. The problem was he didn't look like a franchise quarterback enough, right, to basically warrant staying or remaining the guy. There was a disconnect. And I think there was just a lot of, I don't want to use the word hate, but like Buffalo media railed on this guy. Like there was but I don't remember. So training camps, right? EJ's last training camp or second to last training camp when he was the starter. I mean, I'm like all of you guys. I'm every fan to every man. Like I'm just like every single person watching this broadcast right now. Like I remember listening, and I would tune into GR, and I would tune in to listen to Joe Biscaglia and guys like that talk, like just to hear like how EJ's doing in training camp. At the time, I was living in Ohio, and like it was just nothing but trash in the dude. Like there was just nothing. It just and I'm not saying that EJ was all bad. There was good in EJ, right? But it just seemed like once the narrative was built, right? Would you agree with that? That once that narrative was built, we just couldn't get away from him fast enough. And what's interesting is Daniel has a great comment here when he says that Buddy Nix put himself in a situation where he felt like he had to draft a quarterback, which is true. And I don't want to put that all on Buddy Nix. A lot of that is our fault. I mean, we were in a serious drought already, and the drought continued after that. But winning, like we needed to start winning, and it just wasn't something that was going to happen. So yes, Fitzy came out, did what Fitzy did. He got all the money that you could ever want, and then like went belly up. But EJ, I'm just the problem that I have, and I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry, Spence. The problem that I have with the EJ situation is literally, and I love DJ too, is just we knew what the ceiling was for Ryan Fitzpatrick. We knew what the ceiling was, which just puts you in a spot where you have to make a move. You have to make a decision. And I think it was you and I talked, right? You and I talked about the potential of this happening again next offseason.
Right. Yeah.
Right. What did we talk about on my show? Was it my show or your show? We've done so many together.
I was gonna say I don't know at this point, but basically we're saying like we're at the point with Josh now. If he's going to be a winner or is he not? Next offseason, what conversation are we having? Are we going to be talking about extending Josh Allen to stay in Buffalo for the long haul, or are we going to be talking about maybe we might want to pick up his fifth year, or are we just not going to want to pick it up at all? Are you going to? Yep, so it depends on how he progresses or regresses. So, but the EJ thing though, like I don't know, I just still like it bothers me still because honestly, man, and I know you say good, how we describe that and whatnot, but honestly, think before the injury, and I get it, it wasn't a big enough sample, and he didn't do it consistently after the injury. But I'm telling you that confidence, it really matters, and it's not even just the confidence from the coach. After you get injured, dude, I had surgery last summer on my knee for my torn ACL.
I remember,
and like it's been actually to be a year. Actually, it was a year, a couple days ago, July 11th. I didn't even realize it. So it's been a year since my knee surgery. I still Like, I still hesitate to run. Like, whenever I'm playing basketball with my nephew or anything like that, like, I still kind of, like, I hesitate. And I'm like, well, wait. So think of this on a professional level when you got 250, 280-pound guys running after you full speed,
really fast,
cracking you in the middle of the field. Your confidence is shot. EJ Manuel was not, he doesn't deserve the slander that he gets, period, from the fans or from the media.
I'm torn. I don't know. I mean, there's just an aspect of like you need a guy even from a back. I mean, the dude washed out as a backup. And I think what's relevant about this conversation, and you and I talked about this, is getting back to the snapshot that is literally the difference between or the comparisons between Ryan Fitzpatrick's ceiling wise and Josh Allen. And you just kind of touched on it a little bit. So I am of the opinion, I've been very outspoken about it. It is not a secret. For me, I believe that we're going to know what Josh Allen is about week 8, week 9. Like, we're going to know what his ceiling is. And by week 16, I said this on my podcast on Monday, week 16, we're going to find, we're either going to have a guy that we know what his ceiling is, and he's consistently living at his ceiling, like playing good football, or he's going to be living on the floor of basically his potential. And that's where Ryan Fitzpatrick was. Fitzpatrick was just, back to the point, did we move on too early? I don't believe we did. I think that EJ was the right move. It was the wrong pick, but to be honest, there was no good pick. So maybe prudence would say, or hindsight would say, going back and seeing what potential free agents were available that year that we drafted EJ. But clearly, drafting EJ was, I don't want to say a mistake. I'm probably not where you are on that.
No, and that's fine. I'm more of a fan so I'm an FSU fan too. So I got to watch him in college, and I saw the things that EJ did in college. And the thing is, we still have to take some responsibility as a franchise. Like, we're acting like the Buffalo Bills were like the perfect organization for him to be drafted by. So granted, yes, he probably was drafted too high, but come on, like, we didn't have the best talent at that time.
Right.
I mean, you figure. We had Stevie, his first year.
Yep.
Like, who else did? You know what I mean? Like, I know we had Freddie, we had Fred Jackson. Everyone loves Freddie. Freddie wasn't shady. Come on, no. Freddie wasn't. He's not Saquon Barkley. We're not drafting guys to come in with stud offensive weapons at that point.
No, you're talking about the different. I mean, he didn't have Tyrod's weapons, and that's a conversation for another day. I missed this amazing super chat from our boy Dave Tilton. Great inaugural show so far, guys. Loving it. Appreciate that. Now, I was just where was the question that I just had up?
Well, wait, because I was almost done. Hold on, because I'll lose the thought, and my memory is not good.
Don't do that. And you might freeze, and we might lose you again.
See, you're probably gonna make me forget it now because you're joking. But there you go. You did it. What was I saying? I really forgot because you were laughing and joking. See, I told you.
You're making me turn red. Stop making me turn red, dude. They want to hear my voice. They don't want to see my red face. This is a great question. So Sheldon Cole asks, is a playoff win enough for Josh Allen to solidify his spot on our roster for the future / long haul? Give it to me.
Personally, I think Josh Allen has done enough now to solidify his spot on our roster for the future and long haul. I think we haven't had play from the quarterback position like this since probably Doug Flutie. Like, as far as having a consistent, just a winner, somebody that in the fourth quarter, he's not going to, and I know what the national narrative on Josh is, but Josh has, last season he was tied in first place for the most fourth quarter comebacks and game-winning drives and all that stuff. I love Josh. I think he's here for the long haul.
So I don't think he's done enough yet. So I would disagree there. Cool. I don't think that winning one playoff game is enough either. I think Josh Allen, potentially with this defense and the talent around him this year, could regress and still win a playoff game. I think that Josh Allen could regress. I think the Bills could go 10-6, 9-7. Josh could throw for 200 yards again. I think his touchdown to interception ratio could balance out versus being so lopsided more towards the touchdown side. And I think the defense and these weapons could pull him out. And I think they could potentially win a playoff game. And I don't know that means that Josh Allen is ready for us to pick up his fifth year contract or his fifth year option, and then somehow give him what's going to amount to be, 5 years, 4 years, $150 million. Like, I don't know, dude. For me, that money, it's a situation where he's going to have to, reach what I would consider attainable goals. And I would almost be more afraid if Josh Allen like blew the numbers out. Like if Josh Allen does what Pierre wants and becomes like a legit MVP candidate and like does like 4,300 yards, 4,400 yards, throws like 40 touchdowns and like just has insane numbers. Like to me, that's almost scary because it's like, well, okay, are we going to get, what are we going to get in 2021? Are we going to get that Josh? Or is he going to then take a step back from there? Does that make sense? Do you follow that logic? Like
it makes sense. I just I think I view Josh differently than a lot of people do. Like for instance, looking in the comments, a lot of people disagree that I think that he should be here for the long term.
Sure.
The reason why I see him the way I see him is if you just watch his college play and then you watch him his rookie year, you watch him last year, every single year he played better depending on the amount of talent he had. Right. So the thing is, I feel like what we see from Josh isn't an actual proper depiction of who Josh Allen is as a quarterback. I think that now with a solid team around him, we're going to see like his rookie year. The reason why he always pretty much did stupid things is because he was trying to win the game by himself because nobody was with him. Mm-hmm. Last year, he stopped doing that as much. He had moments like in the playoff game, but throughout the season, he depended on John Brown. He depended on Cole Beasley and Singletary. So now he has people that he can depend on to make plays for him. And when you have guys around him like that, now we got Diggs. I'm sorry, I don't see Josh as bad as everybody else does. I watch film, like I actually see it. He's not inaccurate. I know what the numbers say. I know what these guys say. Listen, I think Josh is going to be very good this year. I agree with Pierre. I think he's going to have the MVP caliber season. He might not win it because he's in Buffalo, but I do think he'll have an MVP caliber season.
And I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not right there with you. I am right there with you. I think if I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I do that a lot in my life, I'm not a contrarian, but I'm definitely the guy that kind of looks at the other side of things and tries to see the other side of things. Josh, to me, I think he's good. I think he's got a lot. I agree with you when you say, and you said it today on your podcast, that Josh is not an inaccurate quarterback. However, quarterbacks play football and do things that potentially help their receivers. And there's a lot of times that Josh does not. Last year and the year before, it doesn't mean it's not fixable. There's times that Josh doesn't help his receivers. One of those times, there's two times primarily. One of those times is when he throws the ball. What was his miles per hour at the combine? 55 miles an hour. When he throws the ball 55, 60 miles an hour at a guy, he's not helping his receiver out at all. So as much as the balls are hitting the guys in the hands or they're, flying off their thigh muscles and stuff like that, I mean, that ball comes out hot, right? And there's an aspect of touch. And I'm not saying that he has to touch that same weapon that he has that gets him out of trouble also can get him into trouble. Do you agree or do you disagree?
I absolutely agree that it can get him in trouble. Yeah,
correct. The other area is his deep ball, and it's his launch angle. I've said it 1,000 times. If Jordan Palmer can fix his launch, you don't agree. His launch angle, like you watch Josh Allen. So go back to the JP Lossman footage. So was it the Bills QB Twitter handle? I can't remember. Bills QB Watch or something like that. Put up the post of JP Lossman and Lee Evans against the Texans, and there was nobody that I remember in a Bills uniform that threw the rainbow ball like JP Lossman. That dude threw the rainbow like nobody's business. But there was two throws in that highlight. The first one was a rainbow to Lee that went for 83 yards. The second one was an 83-yard completion total, but the ball was thrown on a frozen rope. Josh Allen is the frozen rope guy. And when you throw the ball on a frozen rope 55, 65 yards downfield, you're basically telling a receiver he has to be in that spot right there versus a rainbow ball. And the receiver can adjust to it and find his way to the ball. So for me, if those two things get corrected, I think Josh Allen is living in that 65, 66, 67% completion percentage area. But if it doesn't, I don't know, bro. I mean, I just don't know.
I hear you. I still see it different. And we've talked about this too. I think the long ball for him actually was an issue of trust and not of accuracy. Mm-hmm. The first year, his rookie year, he did not have a problem at all connecting down the field with Robert Foster at all.
Defined no problem. How many long balls did he complete to Robert Foster?
Well, I wasn't prepared for you to ask me that question, so I don't have actual statistics.
Right.
I can't say it's a lot. I can't say it's a lot. I don't think it was.
It wasn't as many as Tyrod to Sammy, right?
No, but he didn't have a full season together either.
True.
Robert Foster didn't play the entire season. Josh had a couple games where he was injured. So, there's different factors. But what I'm saying is he connected with Robert Foster, right?
Right.
Couple connections with Isaiah McKenzie as well. Then last season, he was pretty okay when it came to John Brown. I'm just saying he's in the 30% range. It's like 30 something. I don't know exactly where it was. Everybody else he completely overthrew, and I think the overthrows are no. I don't quite trust you to win that jump ball for me. So I'm just going to show the defense I can fling that thing whenever I feel like it, but I don't trust you to like Zay Jones last season before we got rid of him. It was an interception. I can't remember the game, but it was like on the sideline, and he literally looked at the guy like this and watched him come down with the interception. So if I'm Josh Allen, no, I'm not throwing the ball downfield either if I don't think you're going to fight for it.
For sure. And when you said that his completion percentage on longer throws to John Brown was great, it literally in my mind, and you probably don't have this information either, triggered my mind to say, well, how bad was his completion percentage to the other guys?
Well, I didn't say great.
Well, good. But my point is if it was good for one guy, but it was overall bad, that means it was awful for the other guy.
I'm gonna look it up though. While you're talking, I'll look it up so we can kind of have an accurate.
You're gonna put me in the spot. Well, while you're looking that up, I'm actually going to change the topic, and I'm going to change the topic to the news of the day. And for those of you that have not been paying attention to the news of the day, and I don't want to get political. And I don't want to bring us all down as it pertains to just politics and business as it's related to our hometown that we love so much, Buffalo, New York. But the reality is that some stuff is going on, and the stuff is this. So New Era Corporation, which they own the naming rights to our stadium, to the Bill Stadium, they have requested and have received permission to break their contract with Erie County and the Buffalo Bills to basically remove the naming rights, New Era Field, from basically the stadium. So we are at this point in time, we're not homeless as a team, but we are in a situation where we are nameless, if you will. And for me, there's a lot that goes into this, and there's a lot of fan reaction going on. And I don't necessarily have questions, and I don't know that there's questions that could necessarily be asked. But my first gut feeling literally goes back to, I don't know what's going on with New Era. New Era has gone through some layoffs. They completely closed the Derby plant. For those of you that don't know, New Era is from Buffalo. They're a Buffalo-based organization and company. They closed their Derby plant, and they just announced another 117 layoffs, which prompted the Erie County Commissioner to come out and basically slam them publicly, which made national news. Advance 1 week, basically. And they're now saying, you know what? We're out. Right? And I don't know that maybe it's a money situation, but is it a money situation, or is it a situation where they're like, you know what? Thanks, but no thanks. Like, that's not the press we need. So I don't know what the answer is. When did you hear about it? Did you what time was it today that you read that news? I was in shock when I read that.
I was too. And actually, I heard about it like right when I jumped in the chat because I was at work. So, I'm shocked, man. It's like, I get it though. I understand New Era's financial situation, so I get that. But the way the press release came out, it actually, I don't know, it just looks like there's some underlying things there as well. I just think that there's more than just the financial aspect. I don't know. I don't know, man. What do you think we're gonna name it?
So there's a lot of there's a lot of prospects. I mean, there's great companies out there, and I think it's going to be different this time. So, there was a great deal of, I remember when Ralph Wilson was still the owner, and, and I don't know how much you guys would remember, or you, Jay Spence, would remember, but there was I think Ralph Wilson came out at one point in time, and it was right when he named the stadium Ralph Wilson Stadium, which was great. It's a legacy thing, but that's money that he's giving up. The Bills, if anybody remembers, and a lot of people don't know this, the Buffalo Bills, when the stadium was named Rich Stadium, we were one of the very first teams in the NFL to sell the naming rights to our stadium. And all of that money goes back to the owner. And then it came out that Ralph Wilson said that, there's just not really enough money in it and blah, 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 blah. And the reality is there wasn't. But it wasn't because of the Buffalo market. It was because the Bills sucked. That was why there wasn't money in naming that stadium, anything else, or somebody paying for it. We have another super chat from Steve Mathis. Super sticker. I don't know what that means,
The
bro.
judge.
What does that mean, Judge Man? Super sticker. I don't know what super sticker means, but I appreciate the super chat. So, anyways, so getting back to it. So for me now I thought the new era. Matt Perino came out and said who would be the perfect fit for the naming rights to the stadium, and I'm like, bro, New Era was the perfect fit. They're a hometown team, national, worldwide known brand, hometown team. It's like you've got to be kidding me right now. Like this is the marriage that you want. This is where it's at. However, the Bills have a budding young star at quarterback. We both agree with that. Yes, I know a second ago I was talking about how it might not go the way that we think it should, but Josh Allen is a budding young star. They're a playoff team. They're a team on the rise. They're being like people are picking them, even with Cam, people are picking them to go to the playoffs and to win the East. They're on primetime television 4 to 5 times this year already. Like that, the name of that stadium is going to be talked about often in the national media. So if I'm of the opinion you asked who it was, I don't necessarily know. There's obviously big corporations out there like Amazon. And what's funny is I saw a lot of hate like for people that were like, what if it's Amazon? And there's, Jeff Bezos isn't exactly a big fan amongst a lot of Americans because he has so much money. But Amazon, I mean, there's a lot of corporations out there, but know this, literally the Pagulas are going to cash in. Like whoever it is, they're going to pay some big money. Who do you think? What names are Verizon's taken? AT&T is taken. I mean, what else? I don't know if there's anything in town, right? I mean, it's not going to be Delaware North Stadium. That doesn't. I mean, what's his name? Jeremy Jacobs is a billionaire, but it's not going to be Delaware North.
Pray to God it's not Delaware North Stadium. Pray to God, man. Well, I don't know. I'm of the. I know this won't happen, but I would like to see them kind of take the approach that that our previous owner took, and not necessarily name it the Pagulas or anything like that, but like the one Buffalo theme. I think I would like to see that. I know a lot of Sabres fans got ticked off when I posted that. So, I'm sure a lot of Sabres fans wouldn't necessarily appreciate that, and I don't think it's going to happen anyway. So, but we'll see. I see a lot of people saying Bills Mafia Stadium. I don't think that'll happen. It looks like the Pagulas, they don't even really acknowledge us saying Bills Mafia all the time. Like every once in a while it might slip out and they have to catch themselves, but they really don't push the Bills Mafia name like we would like them to. We can't even get the hashtag on Twitter.
Right. I think what's funny too is like, so the people that, and I love hometown. So hometown organizations, for those of you that don't know, Kodak, Rochester, IBM is in Rochester, and those corporations, IBM not so much, but Kodak is a shell of its former self. I don't think that Kodak is going to have the money to pony up. As far
IBM, I could see
IBM possibly, but IBM is not the company that IBM was. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, the corporations that we're used to, like being huge, ginormous corporations, aren't what they were. When you think about General Electric, right? GE, like in places, it's now the $1 billion companies are Twitter and Facebook and like weird, like are we talking Facebook Stadium? Are we talking Twitter Stadium? Are we talking, Instagram Stadium? I mean, it'll be interesting to kind of see what happens from that. But yeah, so that's pretty much where we at on this thing. We're about 48 minutes in. Oh, here's a good one. I'll take that one all day long. They're already selling pizza in the place.
Lenovo Pizza.
I saw somebody put out there today because if you have not seen the Mark Sanchez interview of Josh Allen yet, you need to go find it. It's really, really funny. Josh Allen was absolutely spectacular on it. Mark Sanchez, who I'm not a Mark Sanchez fan, butt fumble guy, he was really, really good on it. And to be honest with you, I don't want Josh Allen anywhere near Mark Sanchez. That's just me personally. Like I don't want.
Yeah, I didn't like him being on that show. I didn't.
I don't want any Mark Sanchez mojo rubbing off on Josh Allen. But it was funny because Josh Allen bought a giant farm with his dad. And he basically made the joke that he wants to name the pistachios, the pistachio farm. He wants to name it Josh's Nuts, is what he's talking about. Yeah. So somebody put on Twitter today, Josh's Nuts Stadium, which I thought was funny. I'm not sure this one would happen.
I could see Tesla happen.
You think so? I mean, I know that the dude's got some money, but it just doesn't seem like he's. It just seems.
No, I mean, I don't know if he will be interested in it, but I could definitely see Tesla Stadium.
I can tell you this: Rich Products doesn't have the money anymore. Rich Products definitely doesn't have the money. So let's do this. What if we just opened it up to everybody that's kind of watching to just some questions? Are there any questions out there? Do you have any questions for me while we're waiting for? If you've got a question and you have first of all, super chat us, and your question will absolutely get asked. But if you've got a question for us, feel free to, and it can be personal. You can ask a question to Jay Spence. You can ask a question to me about our shows, things we've said in the past, things that if you're wondering just why I wear black hats with no logos on them, because I'm a free agent. If you have whatever the questions are, feel free to ask.
Because I'm a free agent. Before we pick a question really quickly too, there was one that was sent to me based on a post that I actually posted last week. So obviously we know everybody is not a Patriots fan who lives in Buffalo, and since Cam Newton has been signed there, I have publicly made it known that I am a Cam supporter. So I'm, I guess, rooting for the Patriots this year in a way. But here's the thing. I put a post up and I said, okay, in all seriousness, I'm going to stop joking, but Cam is not washed like people think. And the thing is aside from having a Cam Newton conversation, let's say they didn't sign Cam, we gotta chill as Buffalo fans. We're on our high horse. I feel like a lot of fans think that we have already accomplished something, and we haven't. We have to still beat New England. I understand that Tom Brady's gone. I understand it. We still haven't beat them. Last year, we were talking like this before the season started. Oh, Tom Brady's old now. His arm's going to fall off, all this stuff.
It almost did.
It did. But guess what? They beat us twice. So granted, the games were closer than normal. We weren't blown out, but they beat us. We still have to beat them. So one of the things, there was a comment that, they responded to me and they said, well, so saying the Bills is better than them means being on a high horse. I think it's factual. I don't think that's a fact until we prove it. Like, facts are actual facts, not opinions.
No, for sure. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, I have made that statement, and the way that I've worded it is it doesn't matter who's playing quarterback. Even if Bill Belichick is playing quarterback, we have to beat the Patriots.
Got to do it.
The problem that I have with everything that you just said, and I know where you stand on Cam. We've talked seriously about it. We've joked about it, and I pick on you about being a Patriots fan. And somebody literally just said, "No way, he's a Patriots fan," which is funny. And there's a question for you, so I'm going to ask. We're going to get to that here in a second. Okay. Even the highlights that they show of Cam throwing the football right now are not since he's changed his throwing motion, and that's important. Like every highlight you see of Cam Newton throwing a football right now, it is not with his new throwing motion. It's old footage of his old throwing motion, but that's just something for the back of your mind.
I don't think it's for the back. I think it's on purpose. I think it's by design. If I'm coming off an injury and I want people to think that I'm not healthy, why would I show them that I'm healthy in advance? I want them to guess everything about me. I'm not going to get out here and show you my hand. I just won't. So that's what I think Cam is doing. Sheldon asks, what do I think of our... No, because I was trying to...
Time out. Listen to me. If Cam Newton has the ability to sit in the NFL tape room and decide which shots they're going to use of him throwing the football, then we're living in a completely different Patriot cheaters world than we've ever lived in before.
Well, there's no footage of him with his new throwing motion.
He threw the ball last year.
Yeah, but I mean, that wasn't. Come on, there's no footage last year of him throwing the ball. He was injured. What was that week? What week did he get injured?
This is where I'm at, bro. You can root for the Patriots. You can root for the Patriots all you want. This is where I'm living.
I'm not a Patriots fan, and actually, real quick, because I want to get to Sheldon, but Anthony, you're wrong. You can't just look at the team and offensive defense and know nobody can stop us. There are teams that can stop us, but we can talk about that after Sheldon because we had him up.
Yes. So to that point, this is what Anthony posted. Nobody is a threat. There's where's the Fanatics? Always downplaying our elite team. So that's what you're responding to, and that's the question that was just asked of you, which I like this question.
Yeah. What do you think of our running back room? I believe we have a Jim and Singletary. Who else can share the load and responsibility? If you listen to the code of conduct, or if you listen to the couple of times I've been on the overreaction or anything, you know that I am a Moss believer. I think the season will start off where Singletary will obviously get maybe, I would say 65-35 share, or maybe 60-40, something like that. But I think as the season goes on and the team starts to trust Moss a little bit more, and they see in those third and short situations, or they see him break certain tackles. Oh man, I was watching film last night, and this guy, the business decision line is true. When we get off this, I'm going to send you the video that I'm talking about. This guy, I think Cover One posted it. This guy hit the hole, and there was a guy in the middle of the hole. And he just literally, they were on like the 9-yard line. He literally just put his head down and carried him into the end zone. And I just, I'm excited. So to answer the question, yeah, no, for real. So to answer the question, I think you're right that Singletary is a gem. I think that on any other team and on our team, he's a starter for sure. But I think Moss is actually better, which is saying a lot. I think Moss is the better prospect coming out of college, and I think that Moss will eventually be the better running back. And that's not taking anything away from Singletary. I think we have 2 starting running backs on our team.
Super good. This is a great question. So the 2020 Bills can beat the Jets and the Fins twice this year. And I would caution you, the Dolphins are going to be better than we think. Now, they're clearly not buying a team, but they're building a team, and continuity and all that kind of stuff. Culture plays into it. But can the Bills split with the Patriots this year? I think the Bills can beat the Patriots twice. I actually think the Bills will beat the Patriots twice and split with the Dolphins. What do you think?
I actually agree with you. I think the Dolphins are a whole lot better than we give them credit for as Bills fans. They have a phenomenal coach. He's a great coach. And that front office is giving him everything that he needs to be successful. Those players play hard for him, just like the Bills play hard for McDermott. And they have talent. They had a really good offseason, a really good draft. They had a really good free agency class. Like, I don't know, man. I know, again, I get it. It's Miami, so we just don't want to give them credit. I'm thinking that I think they're going to be second in the division this year.
Probably right. I need to kill that scrolling banner because we're not talking about this anymore. So Charlie Rooney asks, and I was just on the Pat Moran show, and Pat Moran asked me this same exact question: how much longer do you think we will keep McDermott in Buffalo? I personally think he's a long-term threat. I don't for 1 second believe that the Pagulas are going to let McDermott or Bean walk. The reality is the Pagulas are learning. So the Pagulas bought the Bills because Terry he loves sports and he loves sports teams. He's a hockey fan. There's a rumor that he was a Sabres fan even before he bought the Sabres, but he saw profits and losses, P&Ls, and he saw what the money was that the Bills were making, and it encouraged him enough to buy the Bills. Well, now he's beginning to see what the money looks like when the Bills win, and the reality is he had a head coach, Rex Ryan, who sucked, and the Bills didn't win. And now he's got a head coach that's winning, along with being a general manager that's winning, and he sees what the bottom line looks like winning. In my opinion, he's going to pay those guys whatever they want. And
I think at this point it's just something that just hasn't happened. I'm sure the Pagulas have made it clear to them, like, hey, you're part of our family. So I don't think it's any, like, the fact that an extension hasn't happened yet. I don't think it means anything. I just think it literally hasn't happened yet. They're here for the long run. That's it.
I agree 100%. I'm looking through these questions. Did you see a question you want to respond to, or did you see anything new that you want to respond to?
I saw, I can't remember who it was, but somebody did mention that about the Dolphins still, that they think that the Dolphins will be better, but it's a lot of new pieces to put together in 1 year. That's true. But I mean, look at the Bills last year. We made the playoffs. We were 10-6. We had two starters on offense return.
Yeah, the other one is the Browns. Somebody posted about the Browns. I didn't remember the name. I'm sorry, but the Browns were like super good on paper, but they amounted to nothing. And that's generally more the story than not. Normally, when a team is being bought, Browns, the Eagles have done it or tried to do it. The Redskins of Dan Snyder's tried to do it. The reality is normally that does not work out too well for the team. There's something about building a team from the inside out and building that culture versus just going and getting a bunch of hired guns and hoping that they amount to something.
Yes and no. Like I said, you're right. I can, because history tells us that. But I'm telling you, look at last season.
You can respond to that one.
Look at last season, though. We'll talk. Look at last season. The Bills, like I said, they had 2 starters return. So we had Josh Allen and Deion Dawkins. Yeah. And we had 9 new starters. So if you're saying like that's a lot of talent to put together in 1 year, the Bills made the playoffs and should have won the first round. Right. So, I don't know. I hope we sweep them like we do almost every year, but I just don't see it. I don't even want to talk about this comment, man. And you're really leaving it up until I say something.
You are going to respond. You're going to respond to this one, my friend. You're going to respond.
Well, I'll tell you
go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, seeing that his wife is one of the most beautiful women I've seen, I can't say I agree.
I follow you on Twitter. You've got a thing for a lot of hot women.
I do have a thing for a lot of hot women. I do. Joy Taylor is what up, Joy? That's my Joy. She's watching me. She loves me. Joey loves me.
So
Kay loves me too.
I'm going to ask you a question, and I thought it was funny, and I put something up there, and it got a lot of reaction, which was cool, but it was the whole Cam Newton coming out and saying, like, I'm going to bring something to the Patriots that they'd never had in Tom Brady, to which I responded, 7 losing seasons. Like,
I just stopped responding to you with Cam. I just stopped.
What is it that Cam is bringing to the Patriots this year that Tom doesn't? Because it ain't wins. It ain't wins, bro.
Well, I don't know. See, I feel like just because he hasn't won with Rivera down in North Carolina, besides the couple seasons that they went to the playoffs, Cam is a winner, man. Like, you go back to Auburn, listen, Cam is a winner. You're doing this and you're talking about that's fine. Okay, before I move on, let me ask this question.
If you were going to say
no,
Cam's a winner, you have to preface that.
No, hold on, because he is a winner, but I'm going to back this up. Hold on. So, if the way you talk about Josh Allen, tell me it's not the same argument that we've had, that you've heard people have for Cam since he came into the league.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Every single argument that they make about Cam Newton is the same argument.
Cam was not a project coming into the NFL. Josh Allen was not a winner in college. Cam was a winner in college. Josh Allen was not a winner in high school. Cam was a winner in high school. But being a winner. Stop.
No.
Hang on.
No, man. Go ahead. I'm letting you finish. I'm just not agreeing.
I'm gonna mute your microphone.
Mute me. I'll mute me right now because I'm saying no.
Listen, everybody that can hear my voice, Cam, being a winner in high school and you can still hear me because my microphone's not muted. Being a winner in high school and being a winner in college does not make you a winner in the NFL. And 3 of 10 years, his best season as a pro was not his MVP season. His best season as a pro was his rookie season. Then he had an MVP season and one other good year. 3 out of 10 does not a winner make. If Josh Allen, listen to me, and this is the truth. If Josh Allen plays 10 years for the Buffalo Bills, has 3 winning seasons, we're having this conversation about Josh Allen 15 years from now, talking about how bad he was and the Bills should have moved on. Say it ain't so.
No, it is so. But the thing that you're not acknowledging right now, first, you were wrong. Cam was a project coming into the NFL. No, seriously. No, go Google it when we get off the show. Google it. Cam was a project.
They
were talking about how
he threw 4,000 yards his first
in
season.
College. Nobody thought he was going to do that.
He threw for 4,000. You know how many Buffalo Bills quarterbacks have thrown for 4,000 yards the last 20 years? This many.
No. But then what was his
accuracy? What did I just say?
How accurate was he? How accurate was he?
How many Bills quarterbacks have thrown for 4,000 yards in the last 20 years?
How many offenses have we actually been a pass-heavy offense?
What's this number?
Bills haven't had a pass-heavy offense since Fitzpatrick.
Oh.
Seriously, no, because you're throwing stuff out there that's not. It's just
Pierre?
not right.
Where's Pierre? I need Pierre.
Cam was absolutely considered a project. Cody's right. Cam was absolutely considered a project. Now you might not want to admit that, but he was.
You need to read that, bro.
Jeff has been wrong all night, so it's okay.
We aren't getting any super chats from Jeff.
But one of the things, because I want to finish my point.
That's
Cam,
the last guy.
You can say Cam wasn't a winner. Fine, whatever. Carolina, he didn't win a lot. Listen, to go 15-1 with that roster, I don't care what you say. Cam is a winner. He had a worse roster that year than Buffalo has had, like any of our losing seasons. Who did he have that year that was worth a 15-1 season?
I don't know.
Exactly. Kelvin Benjamin was injured that year. He didn't even get to play. Right. I'm telling you, you don't even remember who was on his team. Cam is a beast, dude. That's what I'm telling you.
Well, they had the two running backs. There's Pierre. Oh, yeah, that's how you're going to chime in, Pierre, with laughing faces. That's what you do for us. They had the 2 running backs. Who were D'Angelo Williams, and they had who's the other guy? So they had ground and pound all day long, right? But
he was the MVP, so they didn't ground and pound a lot. I'm just saying, man. Look, Cam is a lot better. I get it. He's at New England now, so everybody wants to automatically hate him from a Bills perspective. That's fine. I get it. I just think that Cam is awesome, and I'm gonna rep him.
How about that one?
I would personally never paint my room red or blue, but I would go blue.
Anger. Red is anger. Don't go red. Red is
anger. No, I would go blue. Be peaceful.
So this is the answer to your question.
Exactly. I mean, I knew the answer. I was trying to get you to tell me.
That ain't the answer. That ain't the answer. The answer is Greg Olson.
Greg Olsen was his best receiver that year.
That's the answer. It is
Okay.
not Jericho Cotchery.
No.
And Greg Olsen is not a typical like tight end. So we're not talking about a situation where it's like, just a normal dude. Look at this guy.
So you have one coordinator cut field in half. Yeah. Like, and I get it. It's a debate show, so we debate and all that stuff. But I'm telling you, if you really go back and watch it and you do it honestly, because I get it, we're Bills fans, so we have to watch it from a Bills lens. But if you go and watch it outside of being a Bills fan and you just watch it for the love of football, I'm telling you, if you watch Cam, I don't understand why there's so much hate on Cam. I really don't. That dude is a winner. He has heart. And I know everybody goes back to that one play in the Super Bowl where he didn't die for the fumble. Whatever. Whatever. You can't tell me that Cam isn't a winner. We've seen this dude do flips into the end zone getting hit. We've seen
so did Lionel Gates, and he didn't even play in the NFL.
Okay, this guy is putting his body on the line every week. So for one play, you're gonna sit here and tell me for one play that means he don't have heart. For one play
in the NFL, and that makes him great. Lionel Gates in the NFL.
I didn't say it makes him great. I said he has heart.
I don't know, bro.
Don't change my words, Joe. Come on, man.
Well, this is a great question. What Sheldon Cole asked, will Harrison Phillips show us something special? Felt like he has something to prove. I think I'm of the opinion that Harrison Phillips was showing us something special last year up until the Bengals game when he got hurt.
Yeah.
And the fact that he popped his knee, knew something was wrong and didn't come out, and then like lined up for the next play, and then his knee basically collapsed on him. I love Horrible Harry. Horrible Harry is going to be something to deal with this year. So Here we go. The boss is speaking.
Not that diving for the ball isn't or whatever moment. I don't know, Smith. That's all right. Pierre, listen, again, all you guys are Bills fans. He's the founder of Buffalo Fanatics. He's not gonna say something positive about a Patriots player. It's okay. It's okay, Pierre. You still my guy, man. You still my guy.
Former Patriots player. Brady is one of the greatest quarterbacks to play football. Rob Gronkowski is probably the greatest tight end to play football. I'll say something about former Patriots players, just not current ones.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything left here. Is there any meat left on the bone? So let's close this thing out. We've been on for a little over an hour.
Yeah.
We're slated for an hour. We might have to do 9 o'clock. I think 8:30 is cutting it a little too close for you on the West Coast. Is that true?
No, it was the first time. So I have to get myself together. But once I move, so I'll be here this weekend, and then once we get in everything, it'll just be set up. We'll be straight. So unless you want to do 9. I
think 9 might work better. So we'll have to see, or we can do 8:30 to 10 or something. I don't even know. This is fun. This bantering back and forth part is way more fun. And
it's fun. It is.
So everybody knows this is first run, and Steve Steve Mathis said he was going to come in and produce for us and like kind of keep control of like the questions, but that didn't happen. So I don't see him like waiting in the queue anywhere.
Nope.
So this has been a little bit like
he neglected us.
This has been a tad bit overwhelming trying to control all of this stuff. If you could see all the laptops, computers, and iPads that I have open right now, you guys would probably laugh at me and be like, whoa. But this was a lot of fun. So tune in every Wednesday, right? So we're going to do this thing every Wednesday, probably at 8:30, more than likely 9. But regardless, if you had fun tonight, we had fun. Stick with us. This is only going to get better. This was the very first time we've ever done this. I would tell you, and I think Spence would agree, like we are you guys. We literally are in the same place that you guys are. And this is when the season starts, this show is only going to get better because what we're going to do is we're going to talk about and react to, and you guys can ask us questions about what happened on Sunday. And then we're going to talk about what's going to happen this Sunday, which is basically the premise of the show. So like this, we're here to get you over the hump, which is where that name Hump Day Hotline came from. Spence, you got anything to say to the people before we leave them?
We will figure out calling. So at some point, we will be able to take calls on the show. I'm actually going to work on that this week. I'll work on that this week. So that way, hopefully, maybe next week or the show after, we'll be able to do that.
Jay Spence is going to hit. He's going to give you his phone number. Yeah, I'm supposed to say this a lot, or we're supposed to say this a lot. And I didn't.
Oh, yeah. Hit this.
We've only gotten 10 likes. We need more than 10. Otherwise, we might get canceled before our
next episode. We got to tell people.
Hey, look at this, dude. People are at least if you enjoyed it, hit us up on Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah, come talk to us.
Yeah, come talk to us. Come back next week. But we appreciate Hump Day Hotline. What's this say?
Oh, yeah. Well, real quick, I know we got to go. Eric just said, I never came back to the completion percentage to Brown versus everyone else. I couldn't find it. I'm going to do some research on it now. Next Wednesday, what I'll do is on the Code of Conduct podcast. I'll talk about that.
That's some next level stats right there, bro. Like that's some like crazy, like next level stats. So good luck finding that information. I just hit my mic. Sorry about that. The Patriots have no talent. They got no talent on that football team. They got one old guy. Edelman.
Y'all keep thinking that, man. I'm just telling you, y'all keep thinking that.
That's all they got.
The kid that they got from Atlanta, he was injured last year. He was good when he was in Atlanta. N'Keal Harry was good before he came. Like he's. I'm telling you, it's not going to be what y'all think. It's not. Look, I don't think we're going to lose to them twice at all. But I'm just saying, it's not going to be so. Y'all think we just going to walk over them like they're nothing? It's not happening.
Where'd it go? There it is. We're one show in, and John Banks thinks we already need a guest. That's how entertaining we are.
Man, I need to retire already.
So this might be the only Hump Day hotline that ever happens right there. So just because we already need, it's fine.
I wish we could have talked about that other poll on here, but it was weeks ago now.
Which one?
The one about the 4 Super Bowls. Maybe. That would have been fun live. It would have been fun live.
It would have been fun live maybe next time. But I want to thank all you guys for tuning in on behalf of Spence and myself. You guys are just awesome for being with us tonight. So however many of you have joined in, and for those of you that are going to view this thing after or listen to it after it is broadcast and this broadcast ends, man, be a part of the show. So show up, be a part of what we're trying to accomplish as far as just being interactive and like answering your questions. And this is going to get better. I promise you it's going to get better. I had a lot of fun. Spence, I know you had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun listening to us. But with that, my name is Joe Miller, and I am the voice of the Overreaction Podcast. You can find me on Twitter at Joe Miller Wired. And you are?
Jay Spence the King. I am the host of the Code of Conduct Podcast. You can find me at Jay Spence the King.
That's right. And we are part of the Buffalo Fanatics Network. And I'm just going to plug it again. If you do not currently have any gear, wait a second.
Steve did that, didn't he? He had to put that one on there.
If you don't have
Steve,
yeah, he did. If you don't have any gear like this T-shirt, show me yours. So I got the black version, and you got the white version. There's red versions, all colors of the rainbow. If you don't have any gear, jump over to bffanshop.com, and don't put in Bills guys. Put in Hump Day. So if you
go buy this one, I'm claiming this one as my shirt. So go get this shirt.
Ooh, wait, what's
this? It's the championship mindset shirt, but this is going to be the official Jay Spence the King shirt. I'm claiming it. So go get this shirt.
So go get that shirt, bffanshop.com. But with that, thank you guys so much for just tuning in and being a part of everything that we're doing here on the Hump Day Hotline. We'll be back next week, 8:30. It's just been a super cool honor and a lot of fun and all that good stuff. But with that, I always end my show with Go Bills. How do you end your show?
I am my show with take care of each other, love each other, and live peace. Live in peace.
Go Bills. Gonna end it. Where's the button?